know, first of all, that unfortunately, as we age, we all increase the amount of visceral fat that we have. So this is a graph where you can see age and years plotted against the ratio of visceral to subcutaneous fat. So we cannot stop this, it happens to everybody. We all gain visceral fat as we get older. We also know that visceral fat increases the risk of cancer. So we can see here data to suggest the risk of prostate cancer, colorectal cancer and breast cancer are all increased in individuals that have more visceral fat. Your risk of heart disease is increased if you have more visceral fat. You can see here HDL, or good cholesterol levels, decrease, and triglyceride levels increase as visceral fat increases. And it's the strongest predictor of type 2 diabetes. So this is data from my patients in the UK, and you can see individuals who are type 2 diabetic have much more visceral fat than individuals who are normal. Okay, so how do we measure body fat? And can bioengineering help us do this more accurately? So as I've said, the main way of measuring your risk of being overweight is body mass index. Has everybody heard of BMI? You're aware of BMI. So we calculate BMI by measuring your weight in kilograms and then dividing it by your height in meters squared. And then we have different ranges. So you are underweight if your BMI is less than 18.5. You are normal or healthy if it is 18.5 to 25. You are overweight if your BMI is 25 to 30. And you are obese if your BMI is above 30. But BMI is a flawed method, and here is why. Brad Pitt apparently is overweight. Now I'm sure most of the females in the room would agree that Brad Pitt probably isn't overweight. The man on the right you probably don't know, but he's a very famous English sports rugby player. He's 6'7" tall, he's a giant man, and he is made of muscle. But according to the BMI scale, he is obese, even though he has very low body fat. So BMI is not a good measure of body fat. There are some engineering techniques we can use to measure body fat. So on the left you can see water displacement analysis. So the volume of water that is increased after your body goes down is proportional to the amount of body volume you have. And on the right you can see air displacement analysis, which is the same principle. Your body will displace a volume of air when it places into a container, which is directly proportional to the amount of body fat that you have. But these methods are rare and they are expensive. There are some very cheap things we can do to measure body fat. So I've already mentioned your waist-hip ratio. That's a very cheap method of measuring body fat. You can also measure your waist-to-height ratio, which is a very good measure of how much body fat you've got. Your body volume, which I will show you a slide, we developed this at Aston, I will show you a slide later on about this. And the ponderal index, which is similar to BMI, but instead of meters squared, we use meters to the power of 3, or meters cubed, as your measure of height. A very accurate way of measuring where your body fat is stored is to use an MRI or a CT scan. And these methods are, again, very expensive, invasive, they use radioactivity, at least in the case of a CT scan, and you have to go to hospital to have them done. This is the most accurate way of measuring body fat, and we do this at Aston. So this is our DEXA machine, or dual X-ray, dual energy X-ray absorptiometry machine. And this machine gives us some fantastic data. So this is data from a television program I filmed for the BBC recently. If you look at the two people at the bottom of the table and look at the figures in red, So the first figure tells you their body mass. So the top person was 110 kilograms, very big. And the second person was 137 kilograms, so even bigger. Told that people in the UK are very fat. BMI, you can see the BMI in the second person was much higher, 45 compared to 35. But if you look at their visceral adipose tissue, the bigger person, the fatter person, had much less visceral fat. So it is hard to detect how much visceral fat you have just by measuring how much body fat in total. So we need technologies like this which can accurately measure how much visceral fat we have. This is something we developed at Aston. It's called the Body Volume Index, and effectively it is a small cubicle you stand in with a 360-degree camera which scans your body and then calculates the volume of space. And you can see from this woman here exactly where she stores her body fat. It's all around the middle. But what I use in my research and what I brought here today, and what I would like to volunteer for, if that's okay, is segmental bioimpedance analysis. So you are probably aware of this technology. This is technology where a dual frequency electrical signal is passed through the body from electrode to electrode, and the body fat of that individual will resist the electrical signal, and increased resistance is associated with increased body fat. But we have some quite good machines now, like this machine, Tanita machine, which is Japanese, which doesn't just measure body fat, it measures body fat in each arm, each leg, and in your middle, and it also measures visceral body fat. So, can I have a volunteer? Yes. Come forward. Okay. If we have time afterwards, if anyone wants to use this, just come to the front and have a go. Okay. So, can you take your shoes and socks off? Thank you. Okay, so step on. I will pass you the handles and okay, so it's now passing a current through each arm, each leg, and your whole body. Okay, and it's done. Can I ask how old you are? You can step off now. Can I ask how old you are? 21. So I'll type your age in. And you're definitely male. Do you know how tall you are? Okay, so the machine is now, do you mind if I tell everybody your body fat? Is that okay? Okay, so you weigh 61.5 kilograms. Your body fat is very healthy, 15%. Your fat-free mass is 49.7 kilos. Your bone weighs 2.7 kilos. Your BMI is 24, which is healthy. The amount of calories you burn a day is calculated as 2,425, and it also measures your visceral fat, which it scores from 0 to 60, and your number is 2. So very, very low, very healthy. Segmentally, we can measure each arm and each leg. So your right arm has 15.6% body fat. Your left arm, 17%. Are you right? Do you use your right hand? Yeah, right hand. Okay. Your right leg is 10.5% body fat, and your left leg 11.6, and your middle, which is where I store all my fat, is 17.3. So this technology is actually very useful. Thank you very much. You might volunteer a round of applause. So this technology is very good, it's very useful, but it is not perfect. So although these machines are cheap, these machines are portable, and these machines are very quick and practical to use, they are not yet accurate enough. So the accuracy of this machine is probably within 5% of what the true value is. So we need biomedical engineers, mathematicians, electrical engineers to improve these machines, because they will provide countries like Vietnam with the ability to identify people who need to change their diet, to change their exercise, to prevent obesity from occurring. And it's through engineers like you working with biologists like me that we can achieve this. We can make it easier to identify people with body composition issues. So there are challenges. So we need to increase the amount of research in the area of electrical biomaterials. That's research in developing the machine and research in using the machine in different groups, different ethnic groups, different age groups, different patient groups. We need to improve the machine, so we need engineers to develop better algorithms, to develop better electrodes, to reduce the amount of noise. So that one problem with this machine, which is common, is if I have a big drink of water before I step on the machine because I'm thirsty, it will artificially reduce my body fat score because water conducts the electrical current. If I do a breathing in the morning before I have eaten and drunk, my body fat score will be higher than normal because I will be dehydrated. So we need to produce machines that can remove that noise from the signal, that can more accurately detect body fat without being influenced by your stomach contents. And then importantly, we need to use this more in clinical practice. Your family doctor should not be weighing you. Your family doctor should be measuring your body fat, because your weight and your BMI are not important, but your body fat is. So, in summary, thank you very much for listening to me. We know that obesity is already a very big problem in the United Kingdom, and I am worried that it will become a problem in Vietnam. At the minute, your obesity levels are low, but they are increasing, especially in inner city areas. The current measure of body fat, BMI, is not very good. We need better measures of BMI, more accurate measures of BMI, and we need engineers, bioengineers, to provide us with those accurate measures. Most of these newer technologies cost a lot of money, they're invasive, you have to travel to a hospital or a university to use them. So developing machines like this, which are portable, which are cheap, is very important. So we need to improve the technology and move it into clinical practice. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor, and we really welcome you to our university. And especially this title, I think, is very noticed today, right? And so, if you have any questions, please raise your hand. Okay, and maybe before the other question, maybe I would like to join something. Okay. Nếu mà các em có câu hỏi hay là các thầy cô hỏi có câu hỏi thì các em cứ đặt câu hỏi ha. Và mình không biết là các em có nắm được bao nhiêu % của cái bài nói này, thì chắc chắn là mình biết là các em nói về cái bệnh mà béo phì, đúng không? Thì cái căn bệnh béo phì hiện nay nó dâng cao rất là nhiều cái vấn đề hiện nay ha, và rất là nhiều cái nghiên cứu người ta là đang tìm ra các phương pháp để đo cái sự béo phì của cái bệnh nhân. Và những cái cách mà truyền thống á, thì là người ta dùng cái gì dual energy X-ray absorptiometry, có nghĩa là cái sự hấp thụ năng lượng kép á ha. Thì ví dụ như là người ta sẽ đo cái mật độ loãng xương, hoặc loãng xương thì thường là người ta đo từ 1 đến 2 năm để người ta coi được là dựa vào cái mức độ loãng xương đó người ta sẽ coi người đó có béo phì hay không. Cái thứ hai nữa là người ta đo cái body volume index á, là tức là có thể người ta đo cái vòng bụng ha, của nam hay nữ mình không biết. Rồi cái thứ ba nữa là người ta dùng các phương pháp này, đó là phương pháp BIA. Thì cái phương pháp chính của thầy đó ha, là cái phương pháp gọi là bioelectrical impedance analysis, tức là cái đo trợ kháng điện sinh học đó ha, mình nghĩ là chắc em biết rồi. Và trong cái phương pháp mà đo này thì là việc thầy không có trình bày là làm sao, ở cái nguyên lý nào để đo, cho nên có thể là em hỏi nguyên lý này. Rồi thầy ngoài ra thầy có là trình bày, tất nhiên là nó có rất nhiều thuận thuận lợi, nhưng mà nó có một số khó khăn. Ví dụ như là gì? Ví dụ như là cost rất là high ha. Và thứ hai là gì? Đó là có thể là nó có độ chính xác không, có một số là không có được cao, tại vì nó bị nhiễm cái tiếng ồn á, noise ha. Cho nên là nếu mà các em có câu hỏi thì các em cứ đặt ra ha. Nhưng mà thuận lợi của phương pháp này là gì? Nó không xâm lấn, đúng không? Intranist là có nghĩa là các em có thể là đo không ảnh hưởng gì là chích hay tiêm vân vân ha. Nó rất là thuận lợi đó. Cho nên là nếu mà các em có câu hỏi nào thì các em cứ đặt ha. So if you have any question, please raise your hand. I think that Professor will warmly welcome you and a question. Can you please?
Good morning, Professor. So I have a question for you. We know that if we have very high percent of fat in our body, we will be very hard. But I have read a document about a man named Bruce Lee. You know Bruce Lee? Yeah, I read that he has nearly no fat in his body. Is it possible? And if he has that low fat, is it harm to his body? And
Yes, it's working. Okay, that's an excellent question. Yes, you can have zero body fat. If you Google, what's her name? There is an American woman called Lizzie something who has a genetic disease, which means she cannot have any body fat. And she looks very aged. She's 20 years old, she looks 60 years old. And she has to eat 6,000 calories a day just to maintain her body temperature. Because one of the most important functions of body fat is to insulate the body and keep your body temperature at 37 degrees centigrade. So it is possible with training, with exercise, to reduce your body fat down to very low levels. It is recommended that for men, you do not go below 6% body fat. Because below 6% body fat, you start to become ill. Some people, obviously we are all different. This is why physiology is interesting, because everybody is different. So some individuals would be healthier with a low body fat, but for most of us, having no body fat would be very bad, very unhealthy. Okay.
So you know the value of how to become healthy and how you become ill, right?
Sorry?
For this method, we know to exactly when we become ill and when we're healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. And still any question? So I also have one curious question. Because you say that this one is non-invasive, right? Non-invasive method. So I would like to know the mechanism, how you create this one. Yeah.
You mean for this?
For this device.
So we created a similar device to this Aston, which is just held in the hands, and again it just works by a 5 millihertz and a 50 millihertz electrical signal being generated and passed from one electrode to another, and the second electrode just measures the resistance of that electrical signal, and the resistance of that electrical signal will be directly proportional to the amount of fat that's in the body, because fat resists an electrical signal, because fat cells have a very low water content, whereas muscle cells have a very high water content, and because water conducts electricity, therefore it's easy non-invasively to measure body fat using electrical signals. But the accuracy is not great, so the key for biomedical engineers is to think of more accurate algorithms or more accurate sensors that can do this as accurately as scanning with an X-ray or with a CT scan.
Nếu mà mình bị nếu mà cái cơ chế của nó là dựa vào cái độ khác nhau, dựa cái phần mà gọi là cái phần bioelectrical signal, cái điện sinh học đó, ví dụ như là mô mờ và là mô nạc nó khác nhau, thì người ta dựa vào những cái điện sinh học của những cái mô này nó khác nhau, người ta mới tạo ra cái này. Thì trong tương lai thì người ta nói cuộc là rất là mong có tìm được phương pháp nó chính xác hơn nữa, tại vì những cái mô này điện sinh học nó rất là gen học cái phần cơ sở của vi sinh rồi ha. nó rất là dao động, nó rất là cao nên là nó bị noise nhiều.
We have a few minutes left, so if anybody else wants to use this machine, and please come to the front, and I will measure your body fat. Okay?